I'm at the airport and I'm ready to fly. I'm in Kuala Lumpur and I'm about to jump on board a Malaysia Airlines A330 through to Melbourne, Australia. It's about an 8-9 hour flight, so plenty of time for me to check out Malaysia Airlines in this post-COVID sort of recovery period and see how they've come through, what their service is like, and whether they are still a great airline to fly. I know they've got one of my favourite meals, if not my favourite meal on board, and that is the chicken Satays. I'm really looking forward to that. So join me and let's experience some Malaysian hospitality together. Let's go. Before we jump on board though, my first priority is caffeine. I'm going to head up to the lounge and grab a coffee. I actually overnighted here at the airport last night at the Summer Express Hotel. It's a transit hotel. Didn't have any footage of it. It's a standard transit hotel bed factory. It did its job. I got a good night's sleep and now ready to fly. That's good. Because of my One World Emerald status, I get access to the first class lounge, which here is very nice. It's not as big as the business class lounge next door, but it's got this lovely dining room overlooking the apron and some nice seating as well. So I've just ordered some fruit for breakfast. The much bigger business class lounge next door, I checked that out last night, so here's some footage of that.
Malaysia Airlines' main business class lounge is huge. It appears to be designed in both the style of a traditional lounge and a hawker's food court, with various open kitchens and food stations offering Malaysian delights. I went with a warming laksa. Alcoholic drinks were a bit harder to find, but eventually I discovered there's a little bar tucked to the side as you come in. And it's time to head to the gate. Let's fly to Melbourne. Thank you. Bye-bye. This is nice lounge. Kuala Lumpur Airport's like Singapore. You come off a connecting flight and it's straight into the terminal. Security is done at the gate when you depart. I like that system better than, say, Doha or Dubai, where you come off the plane and you're herded like sheep through security before you can enter the terminal. You do need to allow a little bit more time though for boarding your flight, because obviously you've got to go through security when you get to the gate. That said, in true AvGeek style, I stopped on the way to the gate to watch the planes. The lighting is terrible, but that is how I arrived here in Kuala Lumpur last night on an Oman Airlines A330. If you haven't seen that review, I'll put the link below. It is a fantastic service, a really good flight. Please.
This for you. Oh.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Cheers. Here's to a great flight.
Champagne was also offered on boarding, but it was a bit early for me. Once everyone was on board, we watched Malaysia Airlines' pretty funky safety video, and it was time to depart. Sadly, there were no window seats available when I booked this flight. This footage is therefore the best I could do using the zoom feature of my camera. Regular viewers know that now we're up in the air, it's time to check out the cabin and seats. Business class on these Malaysia Airlines A330s is laid out in a 121 or a 122 configuration, depending on the row. On the left-hand side, all the A seats are the single seats, either right next to the window or slightly closer to the aisle. In the middle, there are two seats, and each seat is slightly offset from the one in front of it. The interesting seats are on the right-hand side of the aircraft, the H and K seats. These seats alternate between two across, which are great for couples, and single throne seats. These throne seats are great for single travellers because you've got lots more room to spread out. However, for sleeping they're not great, especially if your feet are any larger than the average 10-year-old's feet, as the foot space is very small. The only exception is the very first row, seat 1K, which does have a larger space for your feet. In contrast, economy class on these A330s is laid out in a 242 configuration. Seat-wise, these are solid business class seats. Not the best in the sky, but not the worst either. Like Malaysia Airlines, they are placed somewhere in the middle and offer great value. The seats have all the mod cons you'd expect, so I'll let the pictures do the talking, rather than forcing you to listen to my dulcet tones more than is required. In bed mode, these seats are both excellent and frustrating. A thin mattress is provided, as well as a large blanket and pillow. The bed is flat and comfortable and well padded, but very narrow. The foot and leg room in particular are very tight. That said, these feelings may have been exacerbated by the fact that my previous flight was on Oman Air, who have the best business class bed in the sky, as far as I'm concerned. Here's a quick look at the menus for today's flight. Brunch was being served shortly after takeoff, but you did have the option to delay it. I was hungry, so I made my selections and tucked in. Before I show you my meal, can I start by giving a shout out and a massive thank you to the crew on today's flight. They were sensational, especially the cabin service manager Julie, who was helping to look after my section. Brunch started with some fresh fruit, as well as yogurt, granola and berry compote. I accompanied this with some lovely moist banana bread. For the main course, I went with the Malaysian option, nasi lemak, which was very tasty. There was no wine menu to film, but the crew were keen to show me the wines they were serving today. Just as I had resisted the champagne on boarding, I resisted temptation now, because I had work to do. Over the next few hours, I managed to get a fair bit of work done, whilst the crew kept me stocked up with caffeine and my favourite peanuts. The cabin service manager Julie then suggested I try one of the anytime dining dishes, egg noodles, which, just like the Satays, is a Malaysia Airlines signature dish. This was comfort food at its best, and it really hit the spot. Then a couple of hours before I descended to Melbourne, it was time for the main event. First, a drink from the bar. Work done, it was time to indulge in some delicious cognac.
This is what I've been looking forward to. Satay is absolutely delicious. My favourite meal, or my favourite dish in the entire sky.
And yes, you can ask for seconds. With my taste buds satisfied, let's have a quick look at the entertainment system. It's pretty good and easy to use. There seemed to be a reasonable amount of choices, but nothing really caught my eye. I did eventually listen to some flight-inspired music. One of the things I did like though was that Malaysia Airlines still does an in-flight magazine. I love flicking through these and checking out the route map, although I'm not sure what Amsterdam is doing in Norway. I assume it's on a well-earned holiday. Finally, before we start our descent, let me show you the amenities kit provided to business class passengers. It's a good one, with a handy pouch fully stocked with everything you'd need, including various potions, lotions and even mouthwash. Our arrival into Melbourne coincided with sunset, so I was having massive FOMO because of my lack of window seat.
Thank you. That was a really, really nice flight. Thank you. That was really nice. Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you. How are you? Good. Yeah, good. After everything that the world has thrown at Malaysia Airlines over the past years, it's really, really good to see that they've lost none of their magic. It was a really nice flight. Really enjoyed that. It's a good old, same old, reliable Malaysia Airlines service, personalised touch. It was really, really good flight. Thanks for watching. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and check out my channel where there is a whole lot of other flight reviews and a lot more on the way. In the meantime, as always, happy travels.
Australia is free from foot and mouth disease.
Remember,
You must declare
strict
all
quarantine here in
major
Australia.